new study has shown that talking about the birds and the bees does encourage your kids to actually go on and practice safer sex. And, interestingly, even more effective if it's the mum who has the chat.
Oh.
Interesting. Yes, interesting. Well, in my house, I say thank goodness for me, because, honestly, if Eamon said Willie, he'd go bright red. Honestly, he can't cope. And any kind of smutty talk, as he calls it, he starts tutting. Like an old... You know, somebody says Willie, he goes... Like, tutting about. So I know it will have to be me. I have to say, my parents never actually did the sitting down birds and bees chat.
I bet Eamon's didn't either.
Eamon's didn't. Different generation, wasn't it? Which is, and our sex education at school was very just in biology. It was very much, you know, the mechanics of it. There was no kind of chat like they have now about relationships. With Jack, I am definitely the one that does the chat. And how I've done it with him is when he asks, I will always try and give him an answer. And whatever I do I do it when I think is age appropriate to him at the time. Yeah. So I think if he's asking me, he must be thinking about it or interested or need to know something. So I think I do it quite well. I think you have to be very informed. Doing a programme like this helps enormously because we talk about all sorts of things on here. So I think you have to be informed and not look shocked. And I have practised my non-shocked face. Inside, because what they know now at 13 and 14 is unbelievable.
I think I have to ask them.
You probably knew it.
I would never have asked my mother for any kind of advice on anything. I used to look at her and she was probably your age, and I would think...
Young, 33.
Look at her and I could not imagine her having sex with my father. I was like, oh my God, what do they get up to? You can't imagine it, can you?
That is the problem, I think. That is the problem for most teenagers.
Yes,
if you start talking about it, they start thinking of their mum and dad doing it.
And I went in my mother's. I found out about sex by going, when they were out the house one day, I went through my mother's knicker drawer and I found a leaflet, which I realise now she probably knew. Well, Janet's a nosy cow, she'll go through a leaflet with all the facts in it. But
she double bluffed you.
Yeah, and the night I was desperate to lose my virginity, and the night I lost my virginity, my mother was in hospital, and I went to see her later on, and I knew she knew.
She looked at you and knew.
She gave me that look. They can tell.
Did your mum ever sit... Well, your mum Irish Catholic?
Irish Catholic, same thing, never. We'd find out from friends at school. You'd speak to your friends, sisters or whatever. But I have had the conversation with my kids. Mark would never have that conversation. I knew when Lauren had a boyfriend for quite a while, she was probably about 16, 17, I knew that something was probably going to happen, so I had the conversation with her and I took her to get her the pill. And the same with Louis as well.
But did you say to Mark, look, we need to talk? And he'd go, you do it, you do it.
There's no way he would ever dream of talking about it. It's like in our house, lady things were never left around when we were younger. Now they're on the bathroom shelves and whatever, you know. But he would never be able to sit down and talk to him about it. It's always... And I'd rather do it, actually, because I know he'd be painfully shy and embarrassed about talking to him about it. And the same with Louis. When he got to a certain age, I made sure, you know, we had the talk about whoever you're seeing, girls or whatever, you make sure you treat them how you'd like your sisters to be treated.
I think that's a really good one, you see. I would say things like that to Jack and say, would you like someone to treat Rebecca like that?
Yeah.
You know, what about your sister? Because I think to make it more real for them.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's not just about the physical act of sex. I think you pretty much work that out yourself, don't you? Yeah. Really. We never were taught, but you just kind of work that out. But I think it's more for boys. You know what I mean? Where all the bits fit.
My dad
still trying to find it.
My dad took me to Richmond Park to collect frog spawn. And then the frog spawn turned into tadpoles. And then they disappeared. And I'm sure
that's how you make a baby.
I'm sure
you had the chat.
Way of trying to
I bet your parents didn't do the
my
chat.
parents, no, Irish Catholic and all that. And if you ask my mum anything about anything to do with that, she'd just go, "You'll find out soon enough. You'll find out one day." That was her stock answer for everything. It's like, I want to know now. But no, I'm the one that has the chat with the kids. Yeah. They've taught me so much, my kids.
Have you had to do the, like, non-shock
so much more than me, Ruth.
They do.
Honest to God. No, I have, and it's like you, but it's funny because it's been a different chat that I had with the boys than I've had with Kira. It's a completely different chat.
Yeah, interesting.
Because the physicality, like you say, is all the same, but the emotional side has been different with Kira than it was with the boys, and that's one thing that I had to
got that. One of your five would hear that.